Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show that will snap if you do not clap. This is Lost in the Midcard, episode 12. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on Twitter at JBHuskers. We are hosted by SpiderDuck.net, and you can find us on iTunes and YouTube. You can subscribe to us in both avenues. The links to those are at our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, at Raw F Showtime on Twitter. It's Matt Black. Matt, how are you doing today?
It's been a rough week, but I'm doing much better today because you now have to refer to me as Mr. Extreme Rules.
Trevor and I had a vote on Twitter today, and we vote that you were not perfect. You did not win the Ziggler match because Ziggler did end up kissing Sheamus's ass.
No, Ziggler won the match. Don't even. Don't
Ziggler kissed ass.
Don't
Ziggler
even
kissed
try.
the ass.
Don't even go there. Ziggler's face was rubbed against Sheamus's ass. There was no kissing that happened. Ziggler pinned him 1-2-3. Perfect record. Deal with it.
I'm a little little worried.
Jeremy, do you like being wrong?
I'm more disturbed by the fact that JBL said that Ziggler needs to put on some lipstick before he... I was like, what? What kind of...
I'm a little worried that JBL couldn't even remember how to pronounce his last name. He referred to him as Dolph Ziggler at least 2 times during the match. Dolph Ziggler!
Oh, my God, that Dolph Ziggler!
And Michael Cole called Neville Adrian Neville. I'm sure Vince
Oh.
was thrilled.
Oh, yeah, Vince probably ripped him a new asshole on there. Oh, it was kind of funny. Speaking of Vince on the microphone there, if you listen to Taz's podcast with Todd Grisham, you'll hear a couple of interesting insights onto what Vince would say over the microphone on live TV.
That was a good podcast with him and Grisham.
Yeah, it was very very cool.
But then again, I like all of Taz's stuff. I think he's got the best pro wrestler podcast out there right now.
That's probably why he left TNA, because he's definitely got a little future with CBS Radio. So Taz Live definitely was a very profitable week for them, I can assume. So
yeah, Taz Live was great. That was a good week. That was a good week of audio.
Well, Extreme Rules is just now in the books overall. We could say it's a pretty good show. We'll break down our thoughts at the end of the night and kind of where we think they go from here. But we kick off the kickoff show with a match that shouldn't have been on the kickoff show because it was phenomenal. It was probably match of the night up until another match that was later on in the night. But with Daniel Bryan unfortunately unable to compete due to injury, we'll talk about that here in just a second as well. No Intercontinental title match, but we do get Bad News Barrett taking on Neville. Neville making his WWE pay-per-view debut. So with Daniel Bryan being injured, at least there's a little bit of a silver lining in the cloud because Chicago popped hard for Neville. And this was just a phenomenal match, back and forth. As you can expect, the bigger Wade Barrett getting the advantage on Neville for a good part of the match. But then, of course, Neville, with his fast flurry of offense, showed you why the WWE Universe is completely taking Neville into their wings and rooting for him. Just a phenomenal match. Neville kicks out a Wasteland and ducks out of a bullhammer into an Enziguri and then hits the red arrow for the 1-2-3. Matt, were you... Obviously, it's good to get the crowd going with a good victory to start the night for one of the good guys. But did you agree with Neville going over there against Barrett?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it hurt anybody at all. I definitely don't think it hurt Barrett. Because you could easily book out of that. I wasn't prepared to face Neville. I was ready to face Daniel Bryan, and all of a sudden things get turned on me, and I'm fighting Neville instead. I wasn't prepared, but I mean, it makes Neville look more credible in the eyes of the fans who, the people that haven't been watching NXT. I mean, this kid needs some wins on the main roster.
And he hasn't been. He hasn't been really getting them.
Well, he's beat Axel twice. He beat Sheamus by disqualification. He won that tag match on SmackDown on Thursday, and he took Seth Rollins to the limit for the WWE Championship. So, I mean, so far, so good. And getting his first win on pay-per-view was a good step in the right direction as well. It shows that at least Triple H has Neville's back on the main roster, and hopefully that means that other people on the creative team do as well. So,
well, and then, of course, Vince has to be the ultimate man to impress, and I'm sure Vince probably thought that Mighty Mouse gimmick was great.
Yeah, pal. Well, at least, can we at least give him a cape?
Let's have a cheese on a pole.
Fine,
cheese
Vince,
on a pole.
Fine, Vince, we'll let him wear the damn cape. It was a compromise.
I swear to God, that cape's going to end up in the crowd one of these days, the way he flings that thing in the air.
It's awesome.
But JBL calls it the biggest win of his career. I guess we could say so. I mean, he won his pay-per-view debut. I fully agree with you there.
I would definitely say so. Yeah.
And I fully agree with you. I don't think it was a bad thing to give Neville the win, especially because this is a hot Chicago crowd, and the Chicago crowd can shit on you on a dime if you're not performing. And this match definitely was match of the night up until about hour 3 of the night. And
I mean, it was a great way to start off the show, keep everybody hot. It was super smart to move the tag title match to the main show.
Oh, especially because Chicago,
especially with the result of what happened in it. So I mean, it was super smart to start the show the way that they did with Neville and Barrett. There was no title or anything, and that's the way it should be. I don't like title matches being on the pre-show. If you're going for a championship, you should be on the main card. So
I think this still should have been on the main card, though. I think they probably should have gave us Fandango and Adam Rose on the pre-show, something like that.
But the problem is what would they have done with the rest of the show? I mean, I guess they could have cut out the Bo and Ryback segment.
Oh, swig a beer for the working man.
Which really was nothing at all. I mean, they could have done that on Raw.
I just don't know how many people...
if they were going to lead that into Bray.
I just don't know how many people tune into the pre-show, though. I don't know how many people are conditioned to just turn it on at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. I don't know how many people sit in for that pre-show and they think they're going to get a throwaway match when, well, they got anything but a throwaway match.
Me personally, especially with the dawn of the network, I always tune in early to the pregame show just to get a better lock on the stream. So I'm not like jumping on at 8 o'clock and I'm getting the buffering and frame rate issues and pixelation and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm always on the pregame show, no matter what they're putting on there, because I don't want any issues, when the main show comes around.
Well, I always tune in to get a good lock on Renee Young. So.
And those undrank cans of Mountain Dew Kickstarter.
I think King might have drank one, and he exploded.
Ugh.
After the match, towards the end of the pre-show, Tom Phillips is backstage with Kane. We all know this was going to go well. I think Tom Phillips answered a tweet from Matt Black referencing Katie Vick, and Kane stormed off. So that was a fun social.
I thought they asked him a question if he was still relevant.
Yeah, that was from.
I thought that was because I was out of the room when that was happening. I was just trying to keep an ear to it because I was like I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was in the kitchen getting something, but yeah, I just it's Kane. So honestly, he's had more character development in the last month than Big Show has had in the last 3 years. So I mean, I guess that's good for Kane. And I'd much rather see Kane on my television right now than Big Show. So take that for what you will.
Yeah, but you might change your tune later on in the night. We'll see. But
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
let's kick off Extreme Rules with a way that I think that it should have. The Chicago street fight between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. We get ourselves a lot of weapons, a lot of shenanigans going on in the ring right off the bat, and as a few people pointed out, there's a lot of kendo sticks in the streets of Chicago apparently, because Solomon Crow had a good tweet about that. He goes, "Yeah, I never go into a Chicago street fight without a kendo stick." We get ourselves a little bit of back and forth action in the ring, and then I tweeted this out right in the beginning. I go, "What is the point of a Chicago street fight if the pin and submission have to be in the ring?" I don't know, but they did the best they could, and in the end, we didn't really get a finish because they fight backstage. Luke Harper gets into the SUV, and Dean Ambrose dives through the window, and they peel off to go have some deep dish pizza together or something like that.
I don't blame them, man. I can go for some pizza right now.
Now this, what we were hoping this would lead to, just them fighting all throughout Chicago all night and then ending it back in the arena. Unfortunately, it didn't play out that way, and we'll get to the finish there in just a moment. But
I still wasn't disappointed.
No, I wasn't either.
But how it finished off, I thought they played it perfectly, and I honestly it would have been a little bit contrived with somehow the WWE cameras finding them all over Chicago. Doing this, it probably would have taken a little bit out of the, heaven forbid, the realism of the match.
I guess we can then just kind of use it up to our imagination on what they did in between segments there. Who knows? But maybe they might have run into CM Punk with a referee shirt on. Who knows?
Yeah, somehow I doubt that.
Kiss Me Arse match is next. Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus. And this match was pretty solid, obviously, because Ziggler steals the show most of the time, and Sheamus can definitely grapple with all sorts and shapes of wrestlers in the WWE. So this definitely turned out to be a pretty good match, where Ziggler wins with a roll up, which was kind of odd. Sheamus is this big and powerful guy bullying all the small wrestlers, and yet the smaller wrestler gets a roll up for the win.
I called it.
And Matt was wrong because Ziggler ended up kissing Sheamus's ass. So that's
Ziggler did not kiss Sheamus's ass. Ziggler's face was rubbed against Sheamus's ass.
That's a check mark against. That's a check mark against Matt. A check mark against Matt for
Mr.
predictions.
Extreme Rules. You're just jealous. You're just jealous because you were wrong and I was right.
Girl, bye.
Yeah. I'm not letting you live this down. You guys buried me so badly for Fastlane.
Should I bust out the?
You buried me so bad for Fastlane. This is my time. Damn it! This is my time.
Should I bust out the DMs that you sent me before, where you were saying, "God, I wish I would have changed my pick after seeing Ziggler's tweet"?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I got proof.
I'm pretty sure you don't.
I took screenshots of it. So.
You better have, because right after the match, I deleted any proof that you think that you might have had.
I'm sure you did. Jesus. Tag team title match is next. A New Day against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Gigantic Chicago pop for Cesaro and Kidd. No surprise, as Cesaro's probably one of the most over people in Chicago. And this was a phenomenal match. Like I said,
great.
Yeah, this was definitely glad that it wasn't on the pre-show. I tweeted this earlier. I think Big E and Cesaro have a killer chemistry in the ring. I'd love to see them kind of have maybe a one-on-one match on Raw tomorrow night or something.
Cesaro grabbing him in midair was freaking awesome.
He did it twice, I believe.
Big E's a big boy, man.
He's a lunchbox.
He's big. I've met Big E in person. The dude, Big, is definitely a good assessment of that man. He's big. So for Cesaro to literally deadlift catch him out of midair, with no buckling to the legs or anything, he grabbed him like he was nothing. That guy's crazy freaking strong, man.
Yeah, that could have been easily botched. But
easily. And a lot of other people I probably wouldn't have trusted. Big E probably wouldn't have trusted them to do it. Cesaro's to quote Scott Steiner, Cesaro's a genetic freak.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And then, of course, he does that, even with a smaller guy like Kingston, it's still impressive when you pull a guy from a seated position on the turnbuckle and do a superplex off. Being able to pull him up like that is just impressive as all hell. And I also liked Xavier Woods' heel shenanigans on the outside. I thought that was pretty good too. Kind of whining to the crowd, "Why are you booing?" And,
yeah, we're winning. What did we do? Why are you booing us? Dude,
it's like Bo Dallas. We're winning.
So many great false finishes. So much great back and forth. I was blown away by how good this match was. I knew they had it in them, but I didn't know if they would actually be given the time to showcase it. And I'm looking forward to 3 or 4 months of rematches and title swaps between these guys.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because these two teams could easily, rejuvenate the tag team division.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the match only went 10 minutes, so just imagine if they get 15 to 18, what kind of classic they could put on. And obviously the New Day is over as in terms of being a heel. So, like we had said all along, these guys are being over the top positive for a purpose because they knew the WWE was going to shit on them. So the universe was going to shit on them. So, and eventually they did, and out comes, the great chance for when they clap, and that happens to be kind of the new favorite thing the WWE Universe happens to do. We get Natalya smacking Xavier Woods on the outside, and then Kid takes him out with that badass knee that he always does off the apron. But then we get ourselves a little bit of a Big E gets involved. Cesaro throws him out, and then Kofi rolls him up and pulls the old tights in good heel fashion. Good job, Kofi. The New Day is your new WWE Tag Team Champions. So like we said, that's a good thing about the New Day winning because then we get to continue this feud, and then maybe eventually the primetime players can start, their momentum. Right now they're just kind of doing vignettes, so it's probably not time for them to have a tag team title shot. So it's best for business if these two teams continue to fight each other.
Yeah, I think WWE's trying to find a spot for the primetime players right now. I think they feel like they have something with them, but they're not really sure who they want them to come in and feud with. So they're doing these vignettes instead and seeing what sticks. So I mean, there's no harm in continuing with the vignettes until you're for sure what you want to do with those guys. But yeah, dude, New Day delivered tonight, man. I'm telling you, everybody saying they're done, but any crowd reaction is a good crowd reaction in the minds of WWE and Vince McMahon. And the fact that the crowd wanted to take the faces and do the New Day sucks chant over and over again, and how great this trio was able to play off of it. I knew as soon as they did that spot with Woods on Monday, where he came out under the apron and held Sin Cara's feet and didn't let him come back in. I'm like, dude, that spot is way too brilliant for them not to win the tag titles on Sunday. And
and they did so with the pull of the tights from Kofi Kingston. And yeah, Chicago was even chanting New Day sucks during the pre-show, like the first 5 minutes of the pre-show. They were ready for these guys to come out so they could give them a piece of their mind. So that's what makes a good heel in the business of professional wrestling, is when you get a crowd ready for you to come out so they can give it to you. So we get backstage interview with Renee Young, interviewing the brand new tag team champions, and all of a sudden, that black SUV, all of a sudden, I don't know, again, this is, like I said, this is up to our imagination. So did they make a stop for pizza, have a little nice date, or did they fight in the SUV the whole time, and then all of a sudden, while it was moving, and then Ambrose took control? Because Ambrose wasn't driving when they left, but he was driving when they came back.
I would like to imagine that they brawled at a pizza place, and he knocked Luke Harper out, had some pizza, and then drove back to the arena.
Oh man,
I think that's what happened.
Maybe on Raw tomorrow or tonight. Maybe on Raw tonight they'll show us the clip of what happened.
Dean loves to play with food. He had that hot dog cart last year.
Yep.
If you remember, that was good stuff.
So Harper gets thrown out of the back seat of the SUV. The New Day's kind of making fun of him, like, dude, you're getting beat up. And here comes Ambrose off the top of the SUV. Harper ducked out of it, but Ambrose ended up taking out the New Day, and I looked like he had a nice, good upskirt shot on his girlfriend, Renee Young, too. Then they start battling towards the ring, because obviously you got to win in the ring on a Chicago street fight. Yeah. ECW fans had to love the fact that they were filling the ring in with chairs, much like that one night when the crowd was throwing all the steel chairs into the ring. They go at it for quite a little bit with all them chairs in the ring, and Ambrose got powerbombed into one of those chairs, so that had to hurt like a bitch. But in the end, Ambrose gets the dirty deeds, and amazingly enough, this is his first pay-per-view win post-Shield.
Doesn't that hurt your heart?
It does.
No.
First
Didn't
pay-per-view
he win a Survivor Series?
No, remember Bray Wyatt?
No, Bray beat him at TLC with the exploding television. I was almost certain Dean beat him at Survivor Series.
I don't think so, because everybody on Twitter was saying that this was his first post-Shield win.
No, you continue. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I think most people were saying that was. I've seen that from many sources tonight, so I would. Let's see. What was it? What was the Ambrose match at Survivor Series?
It was against Bray.
I don't know. Good question.
I'm looking it up. You can keep going.
Next match is Rush.
Bray won by disqualification.
Ah, okay.
That's why.
Right. Yeah, I figured so many people mentioning it had to be true. But it's the internet. It's on the internet. It has to be true, right?
Oh yeah.
Just ask Mets fan on Reddit.
Oh my God.
Russian chain match for the United States title is the next one up here. Rusev against John Cena. This I love this stipulation, kind of an old school touch the four corners thing, but I thought that chain was incredibly too long, because in the old school strap matches where you had to hit all four corners, you had to literally drag your guy across all four corners, but that chain reached more than half the ring.
I thought not only did I think the chain was too long, I also thought when Cena hit the attitude adjustment at the end, that should have reset both counters, and it didn't, and it let Cena pick up the win. Because I'm under the understanding anytime an action takes place between the two of them that the markers in the corners are reset.
The way Michael Cole described it was their momentum has to be stopped, and Cena's momentum was never stopped. Rusev never went on offense. So in the explanation that they gave a good explanation throughout that match where that their momentum has to be stopped, and Cena's never was at that point. When it was 3-3, neither one of them had been stopped, and of course then Rusev's was stopped by the AA. So by the way of their description, it was legit, unlike the main event that we'll talk about later. But
we'll get to that.
But another solid match between Cena and Rusev. These guys definitely. They don't disappoint. They always put in some solid matches. They're never 5-star matches, but they're never duds either. So
it's like they're going to do it again next month.
Yep, they're going to do it again. One of the big things here was the Chicago crowd chanting, "We want Lana." So Lana acknowledged them by standing up on the apron. That pissed off Rusev. Rusev ordered her out of the ring, and then from there it was pretty much downhill for Rusev. So Rusev, later on in a backstage segment, ordered Lana to go talk to the Authority, which led to the fact that they're going to have the blow-off of John Cena against Rusev at Payback, and it's going to be an I Quit match. And so I think that will be another classic match, because they don't do I Quit matches too often. So I think that'll be a good blow-off for that feud.
Yeah, I would definitely think it's the blow-off, and I think WWE needs to think long and hard about jobbing Rusev out 3 months in a row against John Cena.
Yeah.
I know Cena doesn't quit, blah, blah, blah. But I really think in this instance, 3 months in a row of losses could do a lot of harm to Rusev long term. I feel like he's got to win. He's got to get his win back next month to Payback.
Yeah, I was asked on Twitter if it's inevitable that Rusev's going to lose. And I go, I'm not 100%. I'm 70-30 right now on Cena. but that still means there still means that, because there is so much to gain from Rusev making Cena say I quit. So much to gain.
Agreed.
I think the WWE wants to make him into a massive superstar, and I might actually lower that to 60-40 now. I keep convincing myself that Rusev's going to win this match more and more throughout the time that I'm thinking about it. So it'll remain to be seen. We get the Divas title match next, Naomi against Nikki Bella. Not a bad match, but it's just your typical 7-minute.
I thought the match was good.
Yeah, your typical 7-minute Diva match, a little back and forth. But it's kind of weird. The Bella Twins are heel. Now they're supposed to be face, but yet Brie does a heel. Well, Brie does interference on...
Well, Brie, earlier in the match...
That's a heel move.
No, dude, earlier in the match, Naomi knocked her out at ringside. That was Brie. That was Brie cashing a receipt. Faces do that all the time.
Okay. I think it was still a heel move.
No, it would have been a heel move if Brie was never touched, but Naomi took her out mid-match, like literally took her out. So that was a face getting a receipt on the heel. That was not a heel maneuver.
Okay. I don't know. I think it's heel still.
I respectfully disagree.
And Ziggler kissed Sheamus's ass. Check mark.
You are insane. Okay, look. You're just so desperate for me to be wrong that you're just gonna make stuff up.
Mr. Backpedaling, saying, "I wish I would have changed my mind before the match."
Extreme Rules.
Mr. Backpedal.
Yeah, you wish, brother. You're just jealous. I get it.
The highlight of the Divas title match was Naomi's shoes that changed color.
Holy crap, dude! How many different colors were they by the end of the match? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Somebody asked what was up with those shoes, and I said they're mood shoes. One's yellow because 1 foot's sunny, and one's green because one feels earthy. I don't know. Then at the end of the match, I said the color of her shoes should turn gray after she gets pinned.
Oh my.
Oh Lord. So after the Divas match,
at least they finally got rid of the freaking "Call My Mama" song.
Yeah,
because that just did not work for her at all when she.
No.
Once she turned heel, I'm just like, you got to get rid of this stuff. So at least they gave her a new Tron, they gave her new music, gave her new attire. So
I don't know how I feel about the new song yet, but it'll probably grow on me once I hear it more. At first, I just like, this feels weird, but
it's whatever. But it worked for her compared to "Call Your Mama."
Yeah, exactly.
So at least she came out and she kind of interacted with the theme.
She is not Ernest the Cat. She is not Ernest the Cat Miller.
He's the greatest.
Somebody call my mama. Last Man Standing match is up next. Big Show, Roman Reigns. And if you would have told me that this match was match of the night, I would have laughed at you hard. But holy shit.
Laugh at you because I don't think it was match of the night.
This was match of the night.
I disagree.
This was match of the night.
It was a good match. It wasn't match of the night.
I think it was a match of the night. And the biggest telling part about that is Chicago could have easily shit on this match, and they did not. But I think this was match of the night. What do you think match of the night was? Tag team match?
I would say either the tag match or Neville and Barrett, actually. Would be in contention for match of the night. And if you want to go third place, I would throw Ambrose and Harper on there. I would say at best this ranked 4th.
I think you're blinded by your hate for Big Show. I thought the
rehabilitation of Roman Reigns. I thought Big Show got way too much offense in with the whole project make Roman look strong. I don't think they did a really good job with that tonight. He won and he overcame everything at the end. But I thought Big Show got way too much offense in on him tonight for a character that nobody takes seriously anymore. I thought Roman would have been better off with a much more dominant performance tonight in that match.
Yeah, I'm not really one for having to make Reigns look strong because that's just exactly what they did with Cena. So, I don't mind these kind of things because this is exactly how WrestleMania went. Reigns didn't look strong at all.
Yeah, but that's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Well, this is Big Show, damn it.
Well, yeah, exactly. You just proved my point for me.
No, this was match of the night.
A
lot of great.
I think it was fourth best.
A lot of great.
It was better. It was better than the main event. I'll give you that.
That's true.
It was better than the cage match.
We'll get to that in a minute, but the main event was very lackadaisical, I thought, and I don't know. And
you know what? I might go as far as to say the cage match was the worst match of the night.
Yeah, I was kind of bored with it, but I still think I'm still going to stand with Reigns.
And I really liked Orton and Rollins at Mania.
Oh yeah.
But something about the cage match tonight it didn't click with me.
To wrap up the second to last match here with a bow, Roman Reigns hits a spear on the Big Show through the damn announce table, and that prompted a holy shit chant from Chicago. Reigns gets up and turns the regular announce table up over on the Big Show and stands on it and counts to 10. Except Reigns kind of forgot how to count to 10. That was kind of a funny joke throughout the face. Another funny thing about this thing was
he was just a little bit ahead of the ref. That's all.
Yeah, he was fast counting. He was doing the old Scott Armstrong fast count. Another funny part about that match was when Big Show took a notepad, and I think it was JBL's notepad, and something about mentioning he needs to lose weight.
Yeah, I think Cole admitted to writing that.
I can't remember what that was.
But
I don't know if that was planned or...
he picked it up and opened it and said, "Who wrote I need to lose weight?"
Vince did, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Pal.
We get a little showdown between Orton and Kane, and Orton keeps reminding him who he used to be. And we see some tough enough competitors that will probably never make it into the WWE. As evidence with Cameron being the most notable tough enough person who was kicked first off in that last tough enough competition, by the way. I don't know. It's still a fun show,
Miz and Ryback were both from Tough Enough.
I'm talking about last season.
Well, yeah, last season. But, I mean, last season doesn't count.
But still, it's a fun show. Just a shame that Austin won't be involved with it because he definitely made that show, I thought. Bo Dallas comes out
Honestly, to some... you want to talk about that real quick. I mean, who would you have host the show now with Austin not around?
Woo. God.
Because I'd bring Trish and Booker back.
Yeah. They're good trainers
in their trainer roles. But I mean, who would you have being the main guy?
God, I mean, The Rock would be good.
Yeah, they ain't gonna get The Rock, dude. That dude's too big. If Austin's too busy, The Rock's too busy.
Yeah.
Jericho
wouldn't be terrible.
You know who I'd bring back? Taz.
Yeah.
The original MTV Tough Enoughs. It'd be a great way to reintroduce him to the WWE crowd. You get some synergy in with the Human Podcast Machine. I think there's a lot of wins involved there. I would call Taz up and see if he's willing to do it.
He's definitely a good leading man, as evidence with the show that he hosts. So he could definitely carry a show as the host. So I wouldn't mind that either. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
We got to waste a little bit of time in Extreme Rules. Bo Dallas makes his way out and rips Chicago, and Ryback comes out to shut him up, and we get the Feed Me More, the Meat Hook, the Shell Shock, and we all thought Bray Wyatt was going to come out to start that feud, but I guess not. I mean, that would have been a great moment.
Since they didn't do anything with Bray, you know who it should have been instead of Bo? Should have been Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
He should have came out and cut a promo about Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
they completely dropped the ball on not doing anything with that tonight.
Yeah, he was left off the card completely.
Not cool.
But at least he's getting a lot of TV time now, so that's always good for business, especially even if you're getting jobbed, you're still on TV, you're still relevant.
I used my WWE Shop gift card that I got from being a member of the network for 1 year. I ordered the Axelmania t-shirt.
Did you already rip it off yourself?
No, it's on pre-order. It's not available until the end of this month. As soon as they get them in, it's going to be shipped to me. I'm going to wear it to Payback next month.
Sweet.
Axelmania, brother. So next month is Paybacksel.
There you go. You can almost fit everything into that.
They need to get Axel into every pay-per-view theme for the rest of the year.
Just get a shirt a month. It would sell like hotcakes.
Gotta love Curtis Axel, dude.
The main event time, RKO is banned. Steel cage is up.
Or is it? Dun, dun, dun.
Randy Orton against Seth Rollins, and God, what was wrong with this match? What was it missing?
I don't know what didn't click. I mean, I didn't think the match was bad, but
it was a solid television cage match. It lacked anything like Jericho jumping off the top onto Bray Wyatt kind of thing. It lacked a lot of drama because there were never really any moments outside of when Rollins was dangling for a couple of seconds outside and J&J security showed up. Outside of that, there were never any believable moments of Rollins climbing the cage that you believed he was going to step down and be the champion. So that maybe there's just a lack of drama. I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird to.
Maybe it was going into the match. Everybody and their mother knew Orton had no chance.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe that just took you out of the match. I'm not sure what it was. Like I said, I really enjoyed the two of them at WrestleMania. I thought they had one of the best matches on the card. But tonight, I don't know. Just something about it felt meh. And in the finish, definitely brings up controversy going forward.
Now, I'm guessing that's WWE's way to have social media blow up and talk about it. I mean, it's obviously this was planned. Clearly, they said the RKO was banned. They never once throughout the build-up or tonight said it's banned for Randy Orton. It just said...
Yeah, the RKO is banned, period.
Yeah, and obviously the WWE is doing this on purpose for people like us to talk about it.
Yeah.
And obviously what we're talking about is... First off, Randy Orton hit Seth Rollins with a pedigree, which is pretty damn cool.
That was awesome. Honestly, that was my favorite spot of the entire match.
Yeah, that's kind of like a little fuck you to the Authority.
Yeah.
Hitting a pedigree. And one of the things that Steve Austin loves, the kick out at 2 3/4. Rollins did that perfectly on the pedigree. He kicked out right at the very last microsecond. But obviously, Kane and J&J all get in there, and we get ourselves a little TNA overbooking in the main event, as we always do. Kane chokeslams both J&J security at the same time. He chokeslams Orton. He chokeslams Rollins. But then after he chokeslammed Rollins, he put him on top of Orton, just similar to what he did when he laid down for Rollins on Raw. But that only got a 2 count, and then with all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just did a old Michael Cole there. Out of nowhere, we got an RKO from Seth Rollins. This was after Orton had landed an RKO on Kane, and that enabled Rollins to crawl out of the cage for the victory. So obviously, Matt, this was planned, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Planned to get us talking?
Yeah, I mean, no, it had to have been. Because, I would think Orton will come out tomorrow and claim that the RKO was banned. So Rollins using the RKO means that he won. And, that'll deal up with the issue with the Authority. And I think Roman Reigns is going to come out and say, hey, I pinned Rollins on SmackDown last week. I beat the Big Show. And I deserve a title match now. And I think we're getting a triple threat at Payback. I think it's going to be Reigns, it's going to be Orton, and it's going to be Rollins in Baltimore.
Now, we talked about this on the DM on Twitter during the event. Don't you think Reigns should be away from that title pick? In your opinion,
No.
You don't think? Do you think Reigns should be away from the title picture for a few more months at least?
No.
You think he should be up there again already?
No, because if there's anybody that he can feud with and the fans believe in it, it's another member of the Shield.
Okay.
If Brock Lesnar was still champion, yes, keep him away. But in involvement of past Shield memories and all those feelings and whatnot, I think Reigns feuding with Rollins it just makes sense.
Now, the problem with that is, we may not get that WrestleMania dream match at Triple Threat for the title then. If they do, it's still possible, but do you think that...
Dude, Rollins is not holding that title for a year.
No,
it's not.
But he'll
happening.
be in the picture. He'll probably be in the picture, though. So do you think we get a Shield triple threat at WrestleMania, though, next year?
I would love that. But you gotta. As long as we get a Shield triple threat in some form, I'm good with it. I don't know if it's going to be for the title.
It doesn't even have to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be for the title or not, but I mean, it could be.
So when does Rollins drop the title into who?
Man, that's a good question.
Lesnar at SummerSlam?
Because Money in the Bank title holders normally don't hold the first championship reign very long. I mean, I think the longest person to hold a championship reign after cashing the Money in the Bank was The Miz. I think everybody else's title reigns were rather just, a month to a couple months long before they took the title right back off of them. So,
but with Rollins being with the Authority, I could see them.
I would say honestly at this point, here's my main worry. If I were booking, I would book for Reigns to beat Rollins at SummerSlam. However, that is Raw, SummerSlam, and Raw the night after is in New York for SummerSlam. I don't know if that's the type of crowd you want to test that theory against.
Chicago didn't necessarily shit on Reigns when he came to the ring.
They did not, but I always worry about New York.
But it was more of a Cena pop. It was a higher-pitched pop. But it wasn't you didn't hear hardly any boos, though, tonight.
Yeah, no one got on Roman tonight. And for good reason, because no one's going to cheer Big Show.
Well,
so
except for me.
No, you're weird.
And like I said, Reigns has built himself up as good as you can after getting shit on at the Royal Rumble. And he's earned, I think, he's got to have earned the respect of a lot of he's got to have earned the respect at least of the smart fans, especially with the performance that he put on it at WrestleMania. So,
well, do you think Brock comes right back into the title picture when he returns, or do you think he's going to come back and do something else?
It depends on the Authority decision. That's going to be the storyline. Does the Authority strip him of his rematch now?
Because I would definitely imagine when Lesnar will return around for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So when that happens, is he immediately going to be, put right back in the title picture, or?
But the thing is, Money in the Bank is kind of like the TPC Sawgrass of the PGA. It's kind of like that fifth major now, where it's produced a lot of great shows. So maybe Money in the Bank is where we see Lesnar. I don't know. Maybe that's where we see him, and then he starts makes his intentions known for SummerSlam. But that's been kind of the major pay-per-view outside of the Big Four is Money in the Bank now. So
especially with the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view gone, Money in the Bank definitely solidified itself. It might even be, honestly, at this point, it might be a more important pay-per-view than Survivor Series.
Well, lately, yeah.
You could definitely make an argument for that now, that Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view is more important than Survivor Series now.
And thank God Elimination Chamber. I hated Elimination Chamber in February. I just hated it.
Well, I hate that there's no Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, period.
Yeah, there should be one.
Because I really like that match. And there's a bunch of crappy pay-per-views over the course of the year. You could easily switch one of them out for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
I think Payback should be in April. Just like
dude,
Backlash
would be really freaking cool. Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam for the title.
Mm-hmm. Good.
You do Rollins, you do
maybe Bryan if he's healthy.
Yeah, Rollins, Bryan, Dean, Reigns, Brock. You get six of the big guys in there, and you just
hell. That time it could be Kevin Owens maybe.
No way.
Maybe.
Kevin Owens will still be NXT champion by SummerSlam. I don't know. He's not. No, they're not calling him up already.
He's moved up the card quick. I don't know.
You can't call him up before you call up Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Because if I'm Triple H, I'm keeping Owens in NXT for as long as humanly possible. Because as soon as Vince gets to look at him, he's going to be like, who's this fat guy? Wrestles in a shirt. I hate him.
Last fat guy I saw was Mick Foley, and he's retired.
But Vince, he's really over with the fans. I don't care. He looks like a fan. I hate him.
Well, maybe Vince will be shitting in diapers by SummerSlam. And let's go from banned RKO's to banned curb stomps.
Or are they?
Are they? I don't know. All of a sudden, rumor came out last Monday that the curb stomp was banned. Some people are saying no, it's not banned, but Rollins is no longer using it, which I don't know. I don't know if that means it's banned or not. Obviously, I guess is this? Do you think this is this kind of, in my opinion, kind of sucks because A, curb stomp was a great finisher. B, the wrestlers are trained to take it to where they don't, where they don't completely destroy themselves on it.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Is this WWE kind of saving their ass, especially with head injuries being a thing, and Daniel Bryan and the death in Mexico? Is this WWE just covering their ass, or what are they doing here?
I mean, I heard they wanted to give him a new finisher that could be hit, at any time in any place, kind of like an RKO. So I mean, that's where that weird little DDT thing came from that he did on Raw Monday. That
takes a little bit of a setup, though. That ain't an out-of-nowhere finisher.
Well, you could hit a DDT out of nowhere. And honestly, it's a form of a DDT. But then again, both him and Dean, former members of the Shield, have a form of a DDT as their finishing move. I still think the curb stomp can be used in the same vein as, say, the punt.
Mm-hmm.
You could tease it, or you could hit it on special occasion, because I truthfully don't believe that it's really banned. I think WWE just wanted to change his finisher. So I don't think it's political or safety reasons at all? I really don't. No. I think it's Vince. I think it's random thought Vince just deciding that he wanted to do something different.
The problem is, I mean, it was a unique finisher. It doesn't, doesn't look like much else of a finisher of anybody else's out there. So I don't know. I don't like it just because that underhook or whatever.
If they're so worried about giving somebody a new finisher right now, they need to give one to Rusev.
I thought you were gonna say Naomi.
Well, I'm talking about people that matter. So I think Rusev needs a new finisher.
Girl, bye.
Because his 80s Iron Sheik finisher is fine, but he needs a impact move that he can pin off of.
Fuck you, jabroni.
He needs something better.
Yeah. That is true. Needs something that displays his power.
Exactly.
Kind of like Cesaro's neutralizer, something like that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Something perfect like that.
Yeah. Other big news of the week, Samoa Joe was supposedly backstage at the NXT tapings, and Jim Ross was there too doing some voiceover work and said, "Hey, it's good to see my friend Samoa Joe in Orlando." What was he doing there? Talking to Triple H?
According to PW Insider, Samoa Joe was backstage at the NXT taping to talk to Triple H about coming into the company.
Rumor is we may see him on May 20th, which is the next TakeOver special. Which, if that's the case, give me a Samoa Joe Kevin Owens match,
dude. Please. I would die. I'm honestly, I'm hearing he's not. I'm hearing the earliest he'll be in is in June. But holy crap, if he shows up at a surprise on the NXT special in May, I might lose my mind.
Well, it'd be kind of cool maybe if he pins, because the only match we know for TakeOver right now is Samoa Joe. Let's
book it, baby.
Yeah, he's already there. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the title. Kevin Owens wins, and hey, here you go. Samoa Joe comes out. That'll be a gigantic mark-out moment, kind of like what he did at Ring of Honor. Let's segue from NXT to NXT. This week's NXT brought to you on the WWE Network this past Wednesday. Finn Balor opened it up with Ty Dillinger. Basically, a little bit of a squash match with the coup de grace for Finn Balor. I like Ty Dillinger. I think he just needs a little more something. I think he can maybe end up being an okay guy in the WWE down the road. I'm not sure how old he is, but he looks like he's pretty damn young. But I think he could. I don't know. I don't hate him in NXT. Just needs a little something extra, I think. Finn Balor, another guy that looks like he's going to be the next guy in Tyler Breeze's clutches, as Tyler Breeze did a little promo on Balor. Do you think this leads to Tyler Breeze kind of being the next one up for the title after Sami Zayn? If he gets by if Breeze got by Tommy and Balor, do you think Owens would be next?
My problem for speculating on this is because I already know a majority of the card for the next NXT event. Mm-hmm. So commenting on this would probably give away some potential spoilers to people who don't want to know, and I don't. Really,
why do you have to read ahead?
I couldn't help it. I was excited that it was the first NXT taping in like forever, and I wanted to know what they were doing. So I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but read it and see the direction they were going for the live event. I wanted to know.
Triple H was dangling that crack in front of your face.
Well, normally I'm good at avoiding it, especially the NXT spoilers anyway, because I want to watch them as they happen. But I knew that they were running a set of tapings that would lead to their next special event, and I'm like, yeah, I really want to know what their card is and what they're planning. And I went ahead and read the spoilers. So sorry.
It's all your fault, damn it. We got a couple of interviews. Dana Brooke showing how she doesn't give a fuck about anybody else in the Divas division, and excited to see her grow in NXT and then eventually up into the main roster probably. Kevin Owens with a great little heel promo, basically saying he's going to stomp a foot up Alex Riley's ass, and well, we'll see what happens there in a little bit. Of course, stealing the show, no surprise. Stealing the show was the triple threat for the the NXT Women's Championship #1 contender match: Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte. Why Charlotte is not on the main roster yet is beyond me, but
especially with AJ gone.
Yeah, but that leads to this triple threat match, which was pretty damn good, I gotta say. Becky Lynch ends up winning by pinfall after a great spot of kind of like the old Doomsday Drop, where Becky Lynch ate it, but then as Charlotte is locking in the figure 4, Becky Lynch pins Bayley, which was a really cool ending, a really pretty cool spot to that there. Were you surprised that Becky Lynch went over here instead of Bayley?
I still think Bayley's the long-term feud answer for Sasha, so it's good to get another challenger out of the way to Bayley, because I think Bayley's going to be the one to win the title from Sasha. So you don't want to go to that right away, and you kind of want to build up to that, and they're kind of still, from my understanding, they still want to do the Bayley Emma feud down there. Mm-hmm. So you take care of that first, and then you let Becky mess with Sasha, and then Sasha can go on to lose the title to Bayley, which, in my opinion, that's what's going to happen before the summer's over. I think when Sasha drops the title, I think it'll be dropped to Bayley, and I think Dana Brooke will end up beating Bayley a few months later. So,
do you think she'll be ready by that time?
Yeah, because I don't predict Sasha to lose the title until probably around SummerSlam. So I predict Dana to beat Bayley around Survivor Series. So yeah, I would say by then she'll be ready to go.
Hideo Itami takes on our favorite NXT jobber that has no job anymore, CJ Parker. This went pretty good. This went pretty quickly, and they finally gave a name to Hideo Itami's kicking finisher. It looks kind of like Daniel Bryan's running knee, but it's a kick rather than a knee, and they now call it the shotgun kick, which I think is a pretty good. I don't know if that's a technical term for it. But if it's just the name of his finisher. Look, either way,
all I care about is the next freaking NXT Live special. That man better break out the GTS because you gave it to us in San Jose, man. You can't not do it. It's got to be your finish now, dude. It's got to be.
Rhino takes on a jobber named Jesus De Leon, and he needs to pray to Jesus because Rhino hit a clothesline, a belly-to-belly, and a gore. And oh, yeah, that's the end of the match. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing. You win a new car. Blake and Murphy are flirting with Carmella backstage, and Enzo and Cass run them off, and they're a little pissed that she's wearing the Fugazi, is what Enzo would call it, that Fugazi jewelry that Blake and Murphy bought him. Can't wait for that tag team title match because the NXT universe is gonna pop hard when Cass and Enzo win the tag titles.
Yeah, I would definitely think that's only a matter of time.
We get our main event, Alex Riley asking for another ass whooping by Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens delivered. A decent match. Riley had a little bit of rage, a little bit of say it to my face, but in the end he ate one of those pop-up power bombs, and that was it. Who knows what happens with Riley from here, if he's gonna still fight or go back to commentary, or I don't know what he does here, but
say it to his face, JV.
Can't imagine him getting beat by Kevin Owens any more times, but anyways, one little note that I wanted to remind you of for the Chicago street fight between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. It went 56 minutes and 10 seconds.
That's awesome.
Yes, but I just wanted to give you that note that was the official time on Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. They almost had an hour Iron Man match. How about that?
I love it. I love it.
I was still hoping they would go all throughout the pay-per-view and then maybe
honestly,
after,
I would have liked that match to finish in the Bo Dallas Ryback spot.
Yeah, right before the main event.
That would have been my favorite spot to finish the match in.
But I kind of agree with you that about not having cameras out there. But I still think it kind of would have been kind of interesting, and they show them fighting on the streets of Chicago, even though there were cameras out there. I mean, for crying out loud, there were cameras in the Mississippi River when Al Snow fought Bob Holly. So
yeah, but they followed them out there.
Well, they could get a little call Channel News 5, get the chopper out there, and follow the old black SUV, kind of like OJ.
Don't convince any ideas.
Oh, that's a good idea. Damn it. TNA Wrestling this week. This is the kind of the ode to divas with Kurt Angle and Eric Young. Threw it in there. We got a number one contenders match for the Knockouts Championship. Gail Kim took on Angelina Love, Madison Rayne, and Brooke. Obviously, between those four ladies, a lot of titles held except for Brooke. Has Brooke held the title?
Two-time champ.
Two-time. Madison Rayne 5, Angelina Love 6, and was Gail Kim 5 also?
She's either 4 or 5. She's held it a bunch too. They've all held the title.
So the one with the least title reigns, Brooke, comes out the champion, so she'll be the number one contender for whoever comes out of the Terrence Terrell and Awesome Kong match there. We get ourselves a one-on-one match between the BDC and the Rising. This is where Micah fights Kenny King. The Rising got involved, and the referee tossed them out of the ring, but that left the BDC there to feast on Micah. After Micah got the win, they attacked him, and it sounds like we are going to get a full-out BDC versus the Rising match at what they call Hardcore Justice for next week. Is that basically their Extreme Rules type of thing?
Pretty much, yeah.
The Dollhouse debuts on this Impact Knockouts focus of TV show this week. The Dollhouse, Jade with Marty Bell fought Laura Dennis, and I'm not even familiar who Laura Dennis is.
Cherry Bomb.
Okay. Is she new, or she's here and there?
She's not new to women's wrestling, but she's new to TNA.
I didn't know if she was the blue pants at TNA where she just shows up every once in a while.
Damn.
Woo! But and then they attack Christy Hemme after you all right there? They attack Christy Hemme after she announces that they have been disqualified, so that's kind of interesting. Kind of show, but later on in the night we'll kind of see that kind of didn't really make a lot of sense. But anyways, we go to Mickie James announcing that she is retiring from competition, and James Storm, obviously a longtime friend of Mickie James, says convinces her to do one more match. What you think? Mickie James should be retiring now, or what do you think, Matt?
This has something to do with Bram. I don't know I don't know what it is, but it definitely has some end game between Storm, Bram, Magnus, and James.
Do you think this is just part of the story, and James is not really retiring?
I think it's part of the story. I don't see any reason why she would, unless she just wants to. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think she's over the hill or anything. I think she can still work.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she's still like mid-30s or something, isn't she?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. About the same as Gail Kim. So.
Yeah.
Davey Richards. Thankfully, we get to still see Davey Richards, even though the Wolves are going to be not a tag team for quite some time now. Davey Richards took on Manic of the Revolution and got the win there. And then after that, the Revolution attacked Davey from behind, and then that led to the Hardys making the save. So we're going to have a little bit of a feud between the Hardys with Davey Richards against Matt's favorite faction, the Revolution. Crickets, huh?
I don't. It's whatever. They're better than the Bromans. They ain't saying much, but
if they had a little, I don't know, if they had a better stable of characters, I think the Revolution could have done something. But
they don't.
Anyways, they don't. Ethan Carter enters the ring. I better mention that it's the third. Otherwise, Ethan Carter will probably wag his finger at me. Him and Tyrus in the ring, they say how Ethan has been undefeated for 20 months since he's debuted into TNA, and so this is his kind of time to say that this is kind of his time to say that it is his time to win that title, even after 20 months. But lo and behold, Anderson comes out to say that he's going to shut him up, and so it looks like we're going to get kind of almost like a continuation of the feud, because Anderson has been linked with Rockstar Spud, and obviously Spud has been feuding with Ethan Carter. So I think these two could put on a good match. But when do you think when's the time that they're gonna pull the trigger on Ethan Carter?
I mean, it's hard to tell now since they really don't have pay-per-views. Yeah, I think like I think Slammiversary is gonna be a real pay-per-view. And I think Bound for Glory, so I think they only have like 2 real pay-per-views a year now. I wouldn't wait all the way to Bound for Glory. I mean, if you're going to do it, I'd probably do it at Slammiversary. So, because honestly, Kurt Angle doesn't need the title.
No.
Make somebody else.
It's a good story to have him win it back after 3 years off, but yeah, I agree. He doesn't need a long title run to He's not proving anything to anybody. I mean, everybody already knows, he's one of the best ever. So he doesn't need the title to prove that. We get our continuation of our Knockouts theme here with a Knockouts championship between Awesome Kong and Terrence Harrell. And in the end, the Dollhouse comes out and helps Terrence Harrell with the victory, powerbombing Kong through a table. So does this mean, I mean, the Dollhouse obviously came out as heels. Does this mean Terrence Harrell kind of turns heel now, even though Kong was kind of a heel?
From the way I understood it, Terrence Harrell's the leader of the Dollhouse. And they're a heel stable. That's what I gathered from it. I think they double turned him. I think they turned Kong face, and they turned Terrence heel. So they did that. They did the Shield triple power bomb.
Yep.
Through the table, like a female version of the Shield.
So the old
I like it. I think it's good. So
the old Shawn Michaels Bret Hart double turn there, huh?
Yep. For Bret Hart's Stone Cold.
Yeah, there really isn't. I guess Angelina Love and Madison Rayne, but the heel stable for women's wrestling has always been kind of solid. You had that with the Beautiful People. You had that with in NXT with the I'm forgetting their names.
You're talking about Sasha, and Summer, and
yeah,
Charlotte. Like, weren't they like the BFFs or something?
BFFs, yeah, the BFFs. So obviously, that'll kind of be good for business. Kind of add a little depth into that Knockouts division, and obviously Brooke is a face, so now she'll take on the heel Taryn Terrell with obviously a little bit of backup on her side. So we'll see how that comes out. Austin Aries makes a big surprise where earlier in the night he said he is going to cash in his Feast or Fired briefcase for the title match, and just to make Eric Young go a little psychotic. Well, guess what? It worked. He went to enter in for the title match, and Eric Young attacks Aries. So I guess that means he hasn't officially cashed in his briefcase then, right?
Yeah, I would say that was not a cash in. Because the bell never rang. I mean, the match never started, so I would say Aries still has the case.
And obviously, psychotic Eric Young came back. Obviously, he shook hands with Angle in the beginning of the match. We didn't really talk about the opening segment too much there, but Eric Young, the civil Eric Young, was out to the ring to shake hands with Kurt Angle. But of course, with Aries saying that he's cashing in the briefcase, that kind of made Eric snap, as we all expected. He bust Kurt Angle open, put him in a figure four, did not let it go. So that's how the show ended. And so now we got Eric Young, Austin Aries, and Kurt Angle all in that title picture. Do you assume that Aries will be the next champion?
No, I think Carter beats
Angle. And then they go from that. So you think Angle will hold it? For a little while longer then?
Yep.
When is their pay-per-view coming up? Do you know when the dates are for that, or have they?
Let me look it up.
Is it soon or still a few months out, do you think? Well, as we look into that, let's
final week of June.
Final week of June. So that's 2 more months. Who knows? I mean, TNA has title matches on TV all the time, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes from there. So now we wrap things up here on episode 12 of Lost in the Midcard with where do we go after Extreme Rules? First off, Matt, where do you think the title picture goes from here? I think we already kind of discussed it a little bit, but
yeah, I think it goes towards a triple threat at Payback. I think it'll be Rollins defending against Reigns and Orton.
Obviously, anything with triple threat title or anything with triple threat matches, Seth Rollins has been gold lately, so I can expect this match to at least be better than the steel cage match tonight. With John Cena retaining the United States title, obviously he's going to face Rusev again at Payback, but that still means we got about 3 or 4 more challenges, U.S. Open challenges. I wrote an article on my website, jbprowrestling.com, of 8 guys that would be great to challenge to step up for that U.S. Open challenge. Matt, who would you like to see make the call to that challenge over the next couple of weeks?
Honestly, nobody that's going to be hurt long term, because nobody's going to beat Cena until Rusev gets hold of him in 3 weeks.
Do you approve of Jimmy Uso turning heel since his wife is heel now, and maybe attacking Cena after? I
think they could have a fine match against each other. I don't think he needs to turn heel in order to do that. It's just like when Brie and Nikki went heel.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Bryan
they broke Brie off from interacting with Bryan on television. Yeah. So if they want to turn Naomi heel, they can have him do that. But honestly, I don't even know if you're going to see him on TV again until Jay's back.
Why don't we just get WWE to sign Davey Richards and have them two tag together?
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Obviously, we don't know where to go with the Intercontinental title. Some people are worried that Daniel Bryan might announce a retirement. Do you?
No.
Yeah, it's like I hope not.
Everything I'm hearing say he was only going to be out 4 weeks.
Okay.
So I think he'll be good to be. I think he'll be good. He'll be good to be back by Payback. I mean, I don't know if you put Barrett back in that title spot or what, but I don't think
Oh, how about Neville?
Retiring. Well, you can't put that. You can't do a face and face.
But it's Neville and Daniel Bryan. How epic of a match would that be? See, you're getting all choked up about it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You gotta love it. What else do you see coming down the road here after Extreme Rules? The fallout of Extreme Rules. We got Bray Wyatt, obviously, probably.
And that feud with Ryback that makes absolutely no sense.
Yep. Or maybe they took that off the table since they didn't have him come out tonight. Do you think that's possible?
I would love if they took it off the table because, as I said, it doesn't make any damn sense.
No, just something for both of them to do because there's nothing major for them right now. That'd be the only thing that makes sense there is because they got nothing else for them to do. The old dread of creative decision. Well, overall, I think Extreme Rules was a great pay-per-view. The end was kind of weird. The match itself was a little lackadaisical. Obviously, I think the end was contrived to get us to talk about how that abandoned move was used. But what were your thoughts on overall with the pay-per-view tonight, Matt?
Honestly, I had very low expectations going in. It was better than I thought it had any right to be. I thought top to bottom it was a really good show that delivered pretty much every match. So I really don't have any complaints about the show whatsoever.
It's always easy to have a lull or a hangover after WrestleMania, and thankfully, with a show that we thought was really predictable. Well, shit, Matt was right on all of his predictions, but anyways, except for that Ziggler match, that's still an X on the
nope.
on the card.
You just said it. I was right on everything. How time you admit it.
Hey, I can edit the tape, so.
Sure you can.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what direction they go as we head towards Payback in May. Obviously, we will get a lot of questions probably answered on Raw tomorrow night. So once again, thank you for joining us on Lost in the Midcard, episode 12. After the Extreme Rules pay-per-view here. As always, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. There is where you can find our links to our iTunes and our YouTube pages where you can subscribe to our podcast there. We go live most of the times on Monday of every week, and so hopefully you can subscribe to us there. And obviously on iTunes, give us 5 stars, comment, tell us what you think about the show. And for Matt, this is Jeremy. I hope you enjoy this coming week of WWE Impact Wrestling programming. Hope you have a good week.